Hey everyone, welcome to Fox 10 Talks on Sunday. Brian, Ashley, Trenton, the crew behind the scenes is going to join us in a little bit, and we are hoping you can join us on YouTube as well, and we'd love to hear your comments. Got a lot going on today.
Busy day.
We start, I think, if we want to start in surprise with a teenager in some big trouble tonight, apparently accused of starting a fire at his own home.
Yes.
Getting thrown in jail to some degree. What do we know about that so far?
Second fire involving a teenager in a short while.
Playground, right?
Yes, playground set on fire. So, and Taylor Wirtz, she covered both of them. Pretty wild this week. And Taylor, I think you're with us. Can you hear us okay?
Oh, she's sideways.
Oh, there you go. We hear you.
There you are. Hey, Taylor, any luck? I know we were having trouble finding the home there for a while. Where are you right now on the search?
Yeah, we're still in Surprise right now. We're driving around trying to narrow down where it is. It's kind of a wide area. So we do know it was we heard that there was smoke coming from a second-story window. So we're looking at trying to find some second-story homes, but no luck yet. We've been talking to neighbors, seeing if anybody knew anything, and they haven't yet. But it is a really crazy story because, like you said, I was covering a playground fire in Surprise my first day on the job, and all the neighbors said nothing like this ever happens here. And there was a teenager arrested for fireworks gone wrong, essentially. And then now we're hearing of this second teenager purposely, allegedly setting fire into a home in Surprise. So quite interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ashley.
Do we know if there was like any malintent there, or is it just an accident?
No.
I mean, there were criminal charges.
Yeah. They're making it sound like it's, I believe they were saying intentionally. It was intentional.
I believe the charges were arson and endangerment, as in the family was living in the home at the time.
And this reminds me of like reporting kind of in the old days where authorities would only give you a general area or some major cross streets, and as a reporter you're just out there driving around trying to find something that looks right, asking people walking their dogs, hey, do you know anything? Do you know where I can go? It's just real, like, exhausting, boots on the ground type situation.
Sometimes you feel like you're a part of law enforcement because you're like fact-finding and putting together your own clues and trying to create a story. And I don't think people realize that's what goes into reporting sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
a lot of investigating.
Yeah, that reminds me, not too long ago, we had the Surprise dog attack that Brian, I believe you followed up with, where there was the neighbor who killed Cheeky with a shovel. But I remember we were doing the digging on that initially, and we found the video. And I remember we were asking Surprise PD for, hey, do you have comment on what happened? And they're like, we're not exactly sure what happened. And I remember talking to the officer at the time and said, what do you mean you don't know what happened? It's on video. You see the guy striking the dog, killing it, then tossing its body over a fence. And, well, we haven't seen this video yet. Do you know where we can find, so again, a little bit of that, we have to do that same kind of investigating.
And almost help them out sometimes. Sometimes they'll be watching the news and maybe they'll get some information from us.
Yeah,
very
we
interesting.
Can push them in the right direction. And Taylor, I guess when you find the house, what happens next? You got to go up and do some door knocking, which is always uncomfortable. I don't care who you are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if people don't know who you are. Or some people don't like the news. So it's kind of a roll of the dice. You never know. And some people are great and friendly and offer you water. You never know what you're going to get. But that's the next step, is try and talk to neighbors and piece together what happened and see if anyone has any stories about it. So we'll keep looking and hopefully we can find this house.
Okay, well, Taylor, we'll let you get at it. So,
or sometimes you knock on the door and the guy who killed Cheeky comes out and actually talks to you about it.
No kidding.
It looks like
you find it.
We may have found it. I think we found it. Let me see if I can flip my camera around. That looks like, I don't know if it'll let me zoom in on here, but if you look at that right second story window, it looks like. That looks like it could have been. Talk
about breaking news.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Holy cow.
Just in the nick of time.
Not confirmed, but this is the closest we've gotten. So we'll do some digging and see if this is a home. But
we'll find out at 5.
Yes.
Go get that guy in the pickup truck right there. See what he says.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Good luck, Taylor.
Taylor, thank you. Appreciate that. Well,
thanks, guys.
Another firestorm brewing, this time involving Governor Katie Hobbs. We know that she was up touring the north rim of the Grand Canyon yesterday, flew out in a helicopter to tour the damage, but then actually was on the ground meeting with federal officials about the wildfire response. But if anybody's been paying attention to this story, as we've been covering it, certainly we broke it on the weekend when it happened. The governor had a different message, kind of a different tone than what she was having last weekend, demanding answers. That was pretty scathing in her statement. I know Nicole Christine has been on this one, especially last night, following with us. Nicole, I think you're standing by. Are you with us?
Hi, yes, I am.
Awesome. Yeah,
Hey,
if you could break that down a little bit. What did the governor say yesterday on the ground?
Yeah, so obviously she got that tour that you talked about, surveyed some of the damage from that helicopter. And then once she got into the press briefing, she was asked by another member of the Arizona press what her thoughts were on those initial missteps. And her very first statement was, I'm not an expert and I'm not second guessing anyone's decisions. I'm not second guessing choices, which, as you mentioned, Trenton, very different from what we heard from her last Sunday. She wasted no time last weekend speaking up, sending a statement out unprompted by at least us or any other media that we're aware of, to discuss the initial fire management from the federal government. She was, as you mentioned, pretty scathing. She said that she alluded to the fact that they allowed this wildfire to burn as a controlled burn during the heat of Arizona's summer, hottest and driest part of the year. We've talked a ton about how this is going to be a pretty intense wildfire season due to the dry winter that we saw. So she alluded to that. And then we have her yesterday right off the bat saying she's not an expert and she is not going to second guess anyone's choices. So our first thought was, in the newsroom, we were going to ask her, did you get any new information? It's been, almost a week. So did you get some new insight, whether it was from federal leaders, whether it was from crews on the ground, maybe when she got up there and she saw it for herself? Was there something that changed that led her to go from this demand for a thorough external, independent investigation to saying that, yes, she still thinks that we need to look into this, but that she's more thinking about this shared stewardship, I believe was the quote she had, between the federal government, the state level. And there, we've got her statement from last Sunday there.
Yep.
Yeah, Arizonans deserve answers, how this fire was allowed to decimate the Grand Canyon National Park. She references that it was started as a lightning strike, but then the federal government chose to manage that fire as a controlled burn during the driest, hottest part of the Arizona summer. Obviously, it's pretty obvious there that she's criticizing that choice. She uses the word chose, which then yesterday she said she wasn't second guessing any choices. So yeah, we just wanted to know what changed. Wanted to give her the opportunity to tell us.
Let's see if we could. Let's play that soundbite really quick.
Yeah,
Ashlie.
I'm not an expert, and I'm not second guessing anyone's choices. I think we have to make sure that regardless of this being federal land or not, we have a shared stewardship, and that we are doing everything we can to protect these resources and how we respond to crises like this.
Do you guys?
So right there. Yeah.
You guys think she fell victim to the old, there's got to be a phrase for it, but, the anonymity, not anonymity, but you're sitting on your couch, you're mad, you fire off a tweet.
Yeah.
And it's different when you're face to face with the same people you're criticizing. And then you're like, oh, well, what I meant was, not that we shouldn't call her out. That's our job, to call out politicians when they backtrack or change their tune. But I wonder if she just let her immediate anger get the best of her and her phone's right there. I don't know if she has staff doing that for her or not. I don't know. Just a theory.
That was my theory. And I bet you when she met with them, she got some more insight and realized, okay, they got it under control. But, initially when she probably saw what was going on, it's her territory. She wants to protect it. So she probably, lashed out of emotion.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing to me was it wasn't just the governor saying this. We had 2 U.S. senators jumping on, hitting and firing on all cylinders the next day, saying, whoa, hold up. This isn't the first time this has happened at the North Rim, and this isn't the first time that a federal decision for a controlled burn or a managed burn has gone astray and really gotten out of hand. Brought up the 2006 Warm Fire, almost the exact same time, same place, same conditions, lightning caused strike that was able to jump and torched 59,000 acres, almost killed 1,000 people. So we've been here before, you know. It is kind of interesting, though. Then the governor told you, Nicole, yesterday, nothing's changed with our messaging. It's really been the same. I know a lot of people up there certainly feel a lot differently about this.
Yeah, it's been my experience really since these fires broke out, and when you're reporting, you're collecting interviews with people. It's been my experience talking to people in the North Rim that honestly, I think they feel forgotten a lot of the time from, the cities of the southern part of the state, the high country, and then you've got the Grand Canyon. And then I think they feel like sometimes that area north of the Grand Canyon is kind of forgotten, not necessarily by the governor or anything, but just it's not as something that, we can't get up there as often in person to do stories, things like that. And so thinking about them, we really wanted to find out what information she maybe had learned or what had changed. And then the statement that we got last night was nothing had changed. The messaging hadn't changed. And I think that is where we kind of had that moment where we decided that we did need to share that with people, that she was saying the message hadn't changed when we could visibly see that it had. And we just kind of want to get to the bottom of, like you mentioned, Ashlie, why that change maybe happened. We totally understand that it could have, but we just wanted some information because now she's heading to D.C. this week. She's meeting with the U.S. Secretary of the Interior, who Gallego and Kelly penned that letter to. And, what is he going to have to say about that letter? Have Gallego and Kelly changed their tune at all? Just some things that we want to get out there for those people in the North.
Hey, you're watching Fox 10 Talks. I'm Trenton Hooker. It's Brian Webb. Hans Peterson.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Hans?
Good to be back.
Our movie buff.
Yes, veteran producer and movie aficionado.
Actually, he's been on the set and delivered lines with the best pros of the best of them.
I was a great extra. What
a good experience, though. Huh?
It was.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever think about just staying in Hollywood?
Yeah, I did think about it, but I don't know. As I got older, I don't know. Didn't do it for me. Yeah, my brother does it, but yeah, he has a tough time. Yeah,
as an extra.
Yeah. He gets a lot of auditions, and some do.
Almost.
But yeah.
I was thinking about that the other day. Even people who get are in A-list movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you kind of think, well, gosh, I haven't seen that person in a long time. It's like, only the top of the top seem to be able to hang on, and even then, there's a expiration date for all of us, right?
It's true,
especially in Hollywood. I mean, Hollywood's right.
Yeah, and the way that network TV has gone too, where you would have episodes, procedurals, whatever, where maybe not necessarily a guest starring role, but just a regular role on that, as a very minor character that doesn't aren't as numerous as they were 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so tough. Man.
I wonder if it's all going to be, and then you made me think of the Stephen Colbert Late Show thing, and then I was reading about, there was a lot of questions about, is that political or money? Sure. But I read an article about how expensive it is just to put on that show.
Right.
And you wonder,
how expensive was it a year? I think it was like $100 million.
$100 million a year, I believe.
Crazy.
It's a lot. Yeah.
And then you start pretty soon, are we all just going to be doing this? Like, is this going to be what TV and internet and everything is just going to be people sitting around a table talking about stuff?
Might be.
There's
a lot on streaming to watch at home.
Okay.
And a lot of movies in theaters this week. You got Eddington in theaters right now. That's the new Ari Aster movie. He did Hereditary, which was very popular.
Hereditary
Smurfs
freaked me out.
Yeah, wasn't it? That's a freaky one. Smurfs also. Smurfs is I'm not going to see Smurfs. That's just me. Brian, I know you're there.
So Eddington is a scary movie?
It's supposed to be sort of as I understand it, sort of almost a parody of May 2020, or a heightened reality version of May 2020, when everybody was masking up and there were big protests over George Floyd's death. So it takes place in a small New Mexico town. It's really interesting. It's not huge on Rotten Tomatoes, though. It's only gotten like 67% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Who's starring in it again?
Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal.
Yes,
that's in theaters.
Right. One plays the mayor, one plays the sheriff, I think?
Exactly,
right.
exactly.
It's a parody, but it also looked very
parody.
dark.
Heightened reality, let's say.
Heightened reality.
Wow.
At that time.
People at each other because of the pandemic and restrictions.
Exactly, yeah. And the George Floyd protests, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that sounds really interesting. Also, other movies, these are streaming movies. Megan 2.0. That's new for streaming if you want to watch that at home. Megan 1.0 was great. I love the first one. I haven't seen the second.
Like a sci-fi horror kind of?
Yeah, Allison Williams from Get Out and Girls, she was in it. She plays basically has created a robot. Turns out to be a killer robot.
Sure.
Of course. They always are.
Yeah, right.
They always are. Mm-hmm. They always kill us in the end.
Yeah. Yes. Killing us now, actually.
Mm-hmm. This is true. AI.
Right.
Bye.
You got
watch the shows
Thunderbolts?
I produce.
Are you a robot? I mean, would you tell us?
I'll have to check under the hood later, Brian. Yes.
Companion was also good. That was the one I think you saw.
I've been talking to everybody about Companion.
Yeah,
I love that movie. And I saw that actor in that's Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid's son, Jack.
No kidding.
Quaid.
Oh, I wondered if there was.
That was him, and he was in a superhero movie which I didn't see, but he was also in Novocaine, which I just saw last night. I think Companion is a little better. That's my personal opinion, but he can't feel pain is the whole basis of the movie. But he can still die, but he can't feel pain. So it's just a unique take on. Never heard that one before.
Yeah, really the only Quaid I'm interested in is Randy Quaid.
Oh boy.
Yes. Where is he? Which cause is he on right now?
Yeah, and just
where does he fall in the Epstein files? That's what I want to know.
So true. I mean, he just took such a tumble, but man, he was a classic back in the day. I mean, just nailed every role.
University of Houston alumnus.
Is he?
And his brother.
Is he? And his brother.
Yes. Proud.
And they don't.
Actors.
Do they look alike? To me, they don't.
Not at all. Yeah.
And Randy went first, didn't he? Isn't Randy older?
Right. Yeah, he's older. Yeah.
Last Picture Show.
All right.
Was he in that?
Oh, wow. That's a throwback. Yeah.
You know who's a movie buff around here? Ashley Gomez.
Ashley
she educated me yesterday on what were you telling me about last night? That show, the movie, the scary one.
Oh God, the entire every single break we had during one of the shows yesterday, I was talking to him about Final Destination. And the thing is, I'm not a big scary movie person, but those deaths just kind of fascinate me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you ever watch any of the other ones, the older ones, Ashlie?
Yeah.
Those were big when I was in high school.
So I was trying to tell him that, in my opinion, every person who's seen a Final Destination movie, there's one death that's stuck with them.
Yeah.
For me, it was when the guy got sucked up by the pool drain, and I'm still scared of pools because of that. I'll get in them, but they scare me.
Yeah, I think mine was when they're driving down a highway and there's like a log truck.
The log truck.
That was terrifying.
Well, and the you're talking about the MRI thing, which actually happened in New York.
That's why I brought it up.
The chain.
So apparently, when I read that headline, I was thinking chain as in just a
I thought it was
small
around
necklace. That the guy was wearing?
What I thought.
No. It was actually a thick steel chain with a padlock.
Oh, no.
Where's the MRI tech on that one?
Well,
sir,
right.
leave your padlock and metal chain.
Well, I'm just ignorant enough to know I didn't know that could even really happen. I didn't watch those movies.
Watch the Final Destination movies.
Right?
Yeah.
But
I mean, the first word is magnetic.
Yeah, I guess.
Which one does that happen in, Ashley, with the guy with the
It was
MRI accident?
the most recent one, Bloodlines.
Okay, I've only seen the first three.
The MRI
And
death.
I
kinda
was
stopped at
telling
3.
Brian that it's kind of messed up because it was my favorite death in that movie. So I didn't think, it would happen in real life in a way. I don't know.
Yeah.
You should see it.
Real life imitates art.
Pretty good.
Frankie D giving us a shout out. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you,
Frankie
sir.
D.
Frankie D.
All
Thanks for
right.
joining us. Thanks, Hans, man. Appreciate it.
Beautiful. All right.
Hey.
We'll get back.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
Thanks,
we'll
Hans.
see you next week with what's going on and streaming. Hopefully, we'll get some streaming. Want to talk about some shows. All right.
Thanks, Hans.
All
We got
right.
Richard Signs on deck.
Richard Signs coming in.
What's up? Look at this guy. He's so dapper, man.
I should have high-fived Hans on the way out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You should. Yeah.
But you know what? I'm a big documentary guy.
Yeah.
I like. There's 2 documentaries you can watch, probably on Netflix. My Octopus Teacher.
Yes. Very good.
Have you ever seen it?
I haven't.
Very good.
Very
What's
good.
that
It's about a guy who befriends an octopus, and they like swim together and stuff. It won an Oscar.
Seriously?
It really won. Yeah.
The real deal.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then my Chimp Empire.
Yes,
Have
that
you
was
seen
good. That was
I
good.
did not see that one. They just study the hierarchy of a chimp
Yeah,
family.
they're a lot like us.
I think they did it over the course of like years and
Yeah,
years.
it was amazing.
Yeah. Like I remember
Really?
listening an interview with the director of that show, and he was saying about how they just had to take the time to get the chimps acclimated where like they couldn't bring in anything. So they basically the chimpanzees wouldn't even notice they were there.
I know, because the access they got was amazing.
Right,
it's amazing.
right. But
Yeah,
the
it's really well
parallels
done.
with humans
When
was
you
fascinating.
when you think about those shows, and I'm thinking like of Shark Week and stuff. We know from our line of work how much time, how long do you have to sit there and wait for the perfect shark jump to get the seal in its mouth, and if you just missed it by this much and you got the tail, you missed it.
And how did they get that close, and what camera did they use?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
amazing.
It's amazing.
Okay.
It really is.
It also ruins
recommendation.
shows too, where you're watching a documentary and they're showing something. I remember one that I was watching not too long ago on Waco, where they were trying to imitate some of the home videos that the British Davidians had, and I was like, wait a minute. I've looked into this issue. I've actually made a news special on this. I know those tapes don't exist. Okay, that's a recreation. That's a fake. That's a fake.
Yeah.
It kind of ruins it a little bit. And more importantly, when I'm watching with my wife and I go, honey, none of that really
then
happened.
you
She'd be
ruin
like,
it, yeah.
just shut up. Let me watch the show.
But you know where there's
I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, that's a bad edit. Look, his code is
That's
up
true.
here.
That's
The audio
true.
mix is crap.
But you know where I have seen some brilliance is when they do use actors to fill in the gaps when they don't have things, and sometimes they really
Do a
pull
great
that off,
job.
because how else are you going to do it? You're going to do drawings?
right,
I mean,
exactly.
it can really be good.
Right. It kind of ruined reality TV for me too, because you'd have these shows that are like the confrontation shows.
Right.
Like that Bar Rescue show is a great example of it. But you'll hear like the guy, tear him apart a little bit or kind of go softer in person.
Yeah.
And then you'll hear kind of the voiceover where he'll be like, yeah, and you can't ever do this again, or I'm going to come and I'm going to rip this up. And I'm like, That was in post, honey. Like, you didn't say that in their face.
Yeah, it's funny because I have a boys trip, right, where every year me and my buddies, we go to a different NFL game and watch a different game at a different stadium. One year we went to Kansas City, and we were staying near the stadium, which was a mistake because there's not that many bars and places to go to near the stadium. But we asked people, where should we go? And they're like, well, this place was just on bar rescue. You guys should go. So we went, and the locals were not happy with the improvements. They were like, "Oh man, we used to have a couch here, and now it's bare floor. We don't like it." They
couch had stories.
They were like pissed. It was so funny, and that's when I kind of realized, oh, this is all staged.
Right.
And then you were saying they kind of let me see behind the curtain there. So I was like, oh, okay.
Bar rescue to me is like Dateline. If you've watched enough shows, you know the owner's a drunk and he thinks it's his playground and he's chasing skirts around and he's not watching the bar. Just like Dateline, you always know the husband did it.
Right.
I
mean,
well, especially because they're not interviewing him. You're like, well, they haven't interviewed him.
Yeah,
so.
right. You know.
Yeah.
And then there's this massive come to Jesus moment where, I've learned the error of my ways. Everything's great, and we make it look all awesome. So.
We got 1 minute to talk about sports. What's up?
We got Howard Balzer coming in. Cardinals training camp starts this week. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see what the Cardinals are doing. They should be a lot better on defense. Every draft pick but one was on the defensive side of the football. This could be a make-or-break year for Kyler.
Yep.
We'll hear from Howard about that. D-backs getting the sweep. They just beat the Redbirds, St. Louis Cardinals, so they look a lot different after the All-Star break.
Wow. Still time to make the playoffs?
Yeah, they got about 60 games left, so we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully by then my voice will come back.
It might be like 2026,
I know.
2027.
I'm working on it.
Did I hear that ASU had a record 9 players go to the MLB draft this year?
Yeah. Willie Bloomquist, former D-back, MLB player, former Sun Devil. He helped them go to the College Baseball World Series. He's cranking them out, man, and that's got to do wonders for recruiting, right? If you're a high school kid and you see guys going to the bigs, that's where you want to play.
That's where you want to go.
Awesome.
Thanks, Richard.
Richard, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Sports Night tonight, 10:30.
Yes, sir, 10:30.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
See you next week.